Everybody has it. Mm-hmm. It's just most people won't access it.
Yeah.
You know, they will take the victim road. And I've been watching this guy, his name's Greg Braden. He talks about this study that they did with photons. That's proof of how powerful thought and consciousness actually is.
Yeah.
And so to actually apply it to your own leg.
Without even knowing that that's what I was actually doing.
Yeah, man. The power of thought. Mm-hmm. As well. I don't know if you look into any of that stuff, but the power of thought is extremely powerful.
Yeah.
And they're proving it with science as well. And that's what you've got. You've got the power of a thought. And everybody has the power of, everybody has it. Mm-hmm. It's just most people won't access it.
Yeah.
You know, they will take the victim road. And I mean, little unrelated, I don't want to lose place in the story, but I just want to bring something up with the power of thought. I've been watching this guy, his name's Greg Braden on YouTube, and he is I don't know what you would call him, maybe a quantum physics guy, but he talks about this study that they did with photons. Do you know anything about this? Mm-mm. So they put all these photons in a vacuum, and they wanted to see what the photons do when people are watching them. And so they put these photons in a vacuum, and they record what they're doing, however you record photons. They record what they're doing when nobody's in the room.
Yeah.
And they act a certain way. Then they put somebody in the room watching the photons, and they react completely different. Mm-hmm. Then they try to trick the photons, and they have a human watch the photons through a camera. And they have somebody watch the photons, and they have the camera record it without anybody watching, and they still react completely different. So that just shows you that human consciousness and thought, just being around things, it changes what is.
Yeah.
And that's proof of how powerful thought and consciousness actually is.
Yeah.
And so to actually apply it to your own leg.
Without even knowing that's what I was actually doing.
Yeah, man. It's real. It is a real. People think that this stuff is bullshit. Mm-hmm. And science and technology is getting so good now that it's proving how powerful thought, prayer, consciousness, whatever you want to call it, how powerful it actually is.
Belief is one of the most powerful things in the world. If you give somebody hope, it's extremely powerful.
Yeah.
Hope is very powerful and contagious. Yeah. Yeah, it is crazy going from the percentage chance that I was getting to now bones are growing, skin grafts are healing first time. And you know, I'm going from the hospital bed to where, I used to sneak out in my wheelchair all the time just because I got bored, and nurses just hated it. And I remember another instance, I was like, I want to walk, Dad. And he's like, you kind of just had your leg reattached. Maybe not a good idea. It's like, well, I'm walking. He goes, well, we're in a hospital, so I guess if you get hurt, we're here already, so not a big deal. It's like, okay. And I got up, and it'd been months since, 2 months since I'd been, on my leg, and then kind of dragging this guy around. And oh, man, I got up. Man, I feel good. Endorphins. And I'm like, I'm going to make it to that window right over there. Moving over there with my walker, and the window's getting smaller, and smaller. Boom, hit the ground. Passed out. And nurses, like, mad. Like, what do you guys do? I can't. We're going to have to handcuff you to the, just all kinds of stuff. Just like, Dad's like, well, the boy wanted to walk. She's like, Mr. Hendrickson, he just had. It's like, I know, but he's stubborn. He's like, kind of thing. But no, I remember when I was starting physical therapy. And the physical therapist I had, his name is Johnny Owens, and the dude is a legend. So I had this legendary orthopedic surgeon. I had this legendary physical therapist. And then there's a prosthesis guy named Ryan Blanick, and he's a legendary prosthesis guy. So all these guys, again, going back to that, when you people will say, well, how do you know God's real? Because once I decided to start to take control over my life slowly, but start to take control over my life and start to use, these experiences and these situations to better myself, to help other people, things started to line up for me. It took me years to look back on it and it's like, how is that possible? Because it's in God's hands. And so I'm getting, my bones are growing back quickly. My skin graft is, they're like, wow, there is 0 complications with your skin grafts. This is unheard of. And next thing I know, I'm getting this entire bird cage removed off my leg. I was supposed to have it on for 2 years, and I'm getting it removed off my leg. And I think it was 8 months.
Wow.
Yeah. I had grown back 2 inches of bone, tibula, and connected the upper part of my leg with the lower part of my leg. Or I'm sorry, upper part, lower part of my leg. And, my foot, it had naturally fused together.
So the bones and everything is just growing back together just naturally?
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Yeah, how they say you grow bone is through resistance and friction. You have to pound the crap out of yourself. And so with me, the constant drills and the weightlifting and the pain that I went through, those the ladder drills that Johnny would have me doing, stuff like that. Ryan, keep pushing. Ryan, straighten your back out. Ryan, one more. Ryan, keep going. And just throwing up and like, all right, you good? You got it out? All right, let's go again. I grew bone back crazy. I mean, just fast, Wolverine fast. And, my foot and everything like that. And it's like, oh, okay, we have something here. Now I'm getting the IDEO device, which gives me, basically a blade, a running blade. And now I'm looking at, oh, wow. Okay, I've been medically retired. I fought to stay on active duty through the continue on active duty waiver. So a COAD waiver, which they were given to special operations guys because of the amount of money they spend on you for training. So, I was medically retired. I came back onto active duty through the waiver, and, it's, I had a dead man's profile. I can't stand longer than 30 minutes. No carrying anything over, 30 pounds. The list goes on. Tennis shoes and all this other stuff. I was like, I am not wearing uniform and tennis shoes. But, so, I'm back on active duty again. I'm still rehabbing. Things are going great. Final checkup. And
hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.